Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber Podcast. Each episode brings you timely insights, expert analysis, and actionable intelligence to keep you ahead in the ever-changing world of cybersecurity. Subscribe to the newsletter at baremetalcyber.com to stay connected. And don't forget to visit cyberauthor.me, your one-stop destination for a wide collection of bestseller cybersecurity books. Equip yourself with knowledge from industry experts and stay ahead of the threats. Let's get started with today's topic. Click first, ask never. Shadow Information Technology's Quiet Rebellion. Shadow information technology, those unofficial, unsanctioned technologies quietly lurking within virtually every organization, has rapidly emerged from simple workplace curiosity to become a pressing cybersecurity threat. Driven by convenience, productivity pressures, and the consumerization of technology, employees frequently bypass corporate information technology channels in favor of faster, simpler solutions, unintentionally creating hidden vulnerabilities. From unauthorized cloud storage to rogue messaging apps, shadow information technology pervades all corners of the organization, silently challenging traditional security, compliance, and governance frameworks. By exploring why employees adopt these hidden tools, the risks they pose, and effective strategies for detection and management, this chapter illuminates the unseen perils and practical responses needed to address the quiet rebellion of shadow information technology effectively. Shadow IT, what it is and why it's everyone's problem. Every organization has its shadowy corners, and in the tech world, those dark alleys are called shadow information technology. Picture this. It's the rogue Dropbox folder quietly holding sensitive company data because an employee needed a quick way to share large files without enduring the dreaded bureaucratic hurdles of corporate information technology. Employees adore shortcuts, not because they're plotting sinister breaches, but simply because consumer-grade tech typically moves faster and easier than the lumbering giants that pass for enterprise solutions. Free tools are enticingly just a Google search away, making quick solutions irresistible compared to navigating company-approved software that moves at the speed of molasses. Shadow information technology is what happens when Bring Your Own Device mutates quietly into Bring Your Own App. Employees often innocently transform their smartphones and personal laptops into unapproved mini data centers, filled with apps that corporate information technology neither knows nor approves of. It's not restricted to just the tech-savvy crowd either. Finance teams, human resources departments, salespeople, they all dip their toes into the shadowy side of information technology. Information technology policies are frequently misunderstood or outright ignored because, let's face it, no employee has ever curled up at night to eagerly read an information technology policy manual for fun. One critical misunderstanding is that shadow information technology is purely a technological issue. Far from being fueled by malicious intent, employees embrace shadow solutions primarily out of an urgent need for productivity and efficiency. They rarely, if ever, think in terms of cybersecurity risks or compliance implications. Those factors simply aren't front of mind for someone under pressure to complete tasks or meet tight deadlines. Furthermore, a lack of clear communication from information technology departments about why certain tools are prohibited fosters misunderstanding, frustration, and ultimately rebellion. Employees might think, why use the cumbersome file share server when Dropbox is intuitive and instant? Compounding the issue is a clear disconnect. Tech governance seldom filters down effectively to the front lines. Policies issued from on high tend to float in an abstract realm, detached from daily operational realities. While compliance and risk officers might see security procedures as absolute mandates, frontline workers see them as friction points hindering business agility. This tension often tilts heavily toward practical agility, which trumps policy compliance in the minds of most end users. Business units, focused on results and efficiency, will quietly sacrifice security compliance if it means meeting critical business goals more quickly. Shadow information technology takes numerous, often deceptively innocent forms. It's that Trello board created without permission because the sanctioned project management tool is outdated and clunky. It's the unvetted Chrome extension promising increased productivity that quietly skims company data behind the scenes. Employees frequently resort to personal email accounts for file transfers when the company email's attachment limits become unbearable, oblivious to the inherent vulnerabilities they're inviting. Popular messaging apps like WhatsApp, intended for social use, become de facto collaboration hubs, carrying confidential company discussions completely outside information technology's purview. Even worse, sensitive documents might end up uploaded onto cloud sharing services without encryption, exposing data to risks employees never considered. The battle against shadow information technology is often lost at specific points where control slips from information technology's grasp. Department-specific tools sprout like mushrooms after rain, adopted without any security review because they solve specialized problems that standard tools can't. Developers, always chasing rapid deployment cycles, might bypass critical security protocols just to get code pushed out faster, opening security holes in the process. Contractors come and go, each bringing their own preferred toolkits into the company ecosystem, often without information technology knowing until it's too late. Remote work has further diluted enforcement, enabling employees to escape oversight simply by operating outside the corporate firewall. Mobile apps on personal phones regularly connect back to corporate systems, opening yet another hidden doorway for potential data leaks or breaches. Most organizations significantly underestimate shadow information technology, mainly because it's practically invisible to traditional security tools designed to monitor only known sanctioned systems. Standard security management platforms and vendor risk assessments fail to detect unauthorized apps and cloud services, quietly running in the background. Compliance teams rarely dive into detailed application logs, preferring instead high-level audits that overlook shadowy corners. Executives often equate having policies with actual compliance, blissfully unaware of the realities on the ground. Without clear visibility, no alerts get triggered until a breach or data leak occurs. Only then does everyone discover just how expansive their shadow information technology footprint really is. Risks lurking behind the curtain. Shadow information technology may seem harmless at first glance, but behind its convenience and speed lurks an array of compliance nightmares. Regulatory frameworks like the General Data Protection Regulation, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard couldn't care less if your organization's sensitive data ends up in Slack, WhatsApp, or Dropbox. They apply equally to all platforms, sanctioned or not. Pleading ignorance won't get your organization off the hook either. Fines and penalties rarely scale down just because someone didn't read the memo about unauthorized tools. To regulators, data stored casually on unsanctioned apps is no different from data secured in an enterprise-grade system, except that shadow tools usually lack critical features like data retention policies. Worse yet, tracking down audit trails after the fact becomes nearly impossible when company records are spread across unauthorized, uncontrolled channels. Data breaches often arise precisely from the same convenience-driven behavior that fuels shadow information technology. Personal storage apps, while intuitive and user-friendly, can become dangerous conduits for leaking sensitive or proprietary data. Unsecured cloud services or unsanctioned communication channels like Slack or WhatsApp groups create fertile ground for phishing attacks. They offer cybercriminals entry points information technology never even sees coming. Employees frequently reuse passwords across personal and shadow platforms, creating vulnerabilities that hackers eagerly exploit. Even more troubling, unsanctioned apps frequently grant users elevated privileges or administrative rights without any vetting or oversight. This exponentially increases the risk of unauthorized access. And let's not forget zero-day vulnerabilities. Rogue apps rarely get patched promptly, exposing your organization's data to threats long after official tools have received security updates. Insider threats also find fertile ground within the chaotic landscape of shadow information technology. Departing employees, whether disgruntled or simply careless, can easily walk out the door or log out remotely with company data stored on personal or unauthorized cloud services. Since shadow tools operate outside formal information technology oversight, revoking access for terminated employees can be nearly impossible. This leaves sensitive information vulnerable long after someone's employment has ended. Privilege creep, the gradual accumulation of unauthorized access rights, becomes invisible in a shadow environment. It enables malicious insiders to quietly expand their reach without drawing attention. Simply put, insider threats thrive in shadows precisely because information technology teams can't secure systems they don't even know exist. Business continuity is another area quietly compromised by the proliferation of shadow applications. Shadow tools, by their nature, rarely get integrated into organizational backup strategy. That means critical business data can vanish instantly if an unauthorized service fails or deletes data unexpectedly. Those service-level agreements protect your operations if a shadow app goes down. Departments can be left suddenly paralyzed without recourse. Incident response teams, expecting structured documentation and centralized control, instead find themselves utterly lost in the chaotic landscape of unsanctioned tools and workflows. Dependency on invisible applications further compounds this risk. Critical business processes hinge on systems information technology has never vetted or even documented. These shadow workflows can vanish overnight if the employee who created them departs. That leaves their colleagues and the organization scrambling to rebuild lost productivity. Visibility gaps created by shadow information technology profoundly weaken organizational detection capabilities. Security information and event management systems, typically laser-focused on official infrastructure, often completely miss activities happening inside rogue apps or services. Endpoint monitoring tools similarly struggle to detect browser-based applications or extensions. These quietly funnel sensitive data out of corporate environments. Data loss prevention solutions can easily be bypassed if users route data through unsanctioned communication channels that the data loss prevention isn't configured to monitor. Personal cloud storage uploads rarely trigger security alerts. That means sensitive corporate files could vanish unnoticed. Shadow information technology thus thrives precisely within the blind spots of traditional security operations centers. This leaves organizations dangerously unaware of risks that lurk right under their noses. Even though shadow information technology might initially feel like a helpful shortcut, its real dangers lie in its invisible and unregulated nature. Without careful oversight, every rogue application or unsanctioned service quietly becomes a ticking cybersecurity time bomb. By the time most organizations realize their blind spots, they're usually dealing with regulatory fines, massive breaches, or disastrous interruptions to critical operations. Organizations need to shift from assuming compliance to actively verifying visibility. Shadow threats hide comfortably behind conventional information technology assumptions. Building effective defenses means first acknowledging the shadow lurking in every corporate corner. Why people do it anyway. Speed is addictive, especially when bureaucracy feels like a snail-paced villain lurking behind every official technology solution. Employees don't deliberately choose danger, they choose speed, agility, and ease of use. In a world where productivity often beats caution, users prefer solutions that get them from problem to solution instantly, even if it means breaking some information technology rules along the way. Shadow tools simply feel more intuitive and efficient compared to their corporate-sanctioned counterparts. This encourages users to default to whatever works immediately, rather than whatever information technology endorses next quarter. Deadlines, after all, don't pause politely for approval cycles or compliance reviews. Collaboration is another prime driver behind the rise of shadow information technology. Global teams, spanning multiple time zones and cultures, have little patience for convoluted official systems that add unnecessary friction. Unofficial apps like WhatsApp, Slack, and Dropbox offer effortless file sharing and seamless communication. These are qualities highly valued by teams who prioritize getting the job done quickly. Unofficial tools routinely ignore official limitations like restrictive file size caps or cumbersome permission layers, further increasing their appeal. Moreover, the simple conversational nature of chat-based workspaces aligns naturally with modern workflows. It appeals strongly to cross-functional and cross-Urbany teams seeking real-time coordination without red tape. A significant part of the problem is the information technology department's notorious reputation within most organizations. Corporate information technology is frequently viewed as a bureaucratic fortress that exists primarily to say no, rather than enabling productivity and innovation. Endless approval forms, long response times from overburdened help desks, and painfully outdated official platforms only feed the cycle of shadow adoption. Employees, increasingly frustrated with these barriers, naturally drift toward do-it-yourself solutions. They embrace the tech culture of ask forgiveness later rather than waiting indefinitely for permission. This normalization of do-it-yourself tech behavior isn't rebellion for its own sake. It's a pragmatic response to the perceived rigidity of information technology bureaucracy. User empowerment is also reshaping attitudes toward technology. The consumerization of information technology, where employees expect the same simplicity and speed from corporate tools that they enjoy in their personal lives, has dramatically altered workplace expectations. Digital natives, who grew up downloading apps without ever consulting a manual, feel zero hesitation in independently choosing tools that meet their immediate needs. Personal preferences now routinely trump corporate policies, because employees see themselves as responsible adults capable of making tech choices without bureaucratic oversight. To many workers, the information technology department isn't their boss. It's just one more support function among many, which they feel justified in bypassing whenever necessary. This empowerment mindset is reinforced by a significant gap in employee awareness and training about cybersecurity risks. Employees often genuinely don't realize the danger inherent in using shadow apps. They see only ease and convenience. Security training sessions rarely mention shadow information technology explicitly, leaving users unaware of potential threats posed by their everyday shortcuts. When corporate policies on acceptable tool usage are vague or ambiguous, employees naturally ignore them, assuming that silence implies consent. Furthermore, onboarding processes frequently skip critical discussions about tech ethics and proper application usage. This perpetuates ignorance from day one. Without proper awareness, clear communication, or relevant training, employees remain blissfully unaware of their role in cybersecurity vulnerabilities. The average worker likely views shadow information technology merely as common sense practicality. It is entirely removed from any malicious intent or risk assessment. In this environment, unofficial tech choices become both natural and inevitable, especially when sanctioned alternatives seem painfully outdated or cumbersome. Information technology departments face the dual challenge of updating their image and making official solutions as intuitive and frictionless as the shadow apps employees currently prefer. Hunting shadows, detecting the undetected. Hunting shadows, detecting the undetected. Detecting shadow information technology can feel like hunting ghosts. You know they're out there, lurking quietly, but traditional tools offer limited visibility into their elusive nature. Behavioral analytics serves as a critical flashlight, illuminating suspicious activities through patterns of unusual app usage. By continuously tracking deviations from standard behaviors, such as sudden increases in file transfers to unknown cloud platforms, security teams can spot shadow information technology at the moment of its inception. Monitoring anomalies in cloud access, like unexpected login attempts from strange locations or unusual times, also helps catch unauthorized actions before they escalate into incidents. Even subtle clues like off-months activity spikes or unexpected bursts of file sharing can signal shadow operations quietly at work. Endpoint visibility acts as another powerful investigative tool for unveiling rogue technologies hiding in plain sight. Regular scans of endpoint devices can uncover unapproved software installations or browser plugins quietly funneling sensitive data to external locations. By systematically analyzing browser histories, information technology can detect when employees regularly interact with unauthorized apps or cloud services. This further indicates shadow activity. Similarly, monitoring universal serial bus usage and peripheral connections helps identify attempts at bypassing corporate file-sharing systems through external devices. Enforcing strong device management policies and actively logging network calls from endpoints offers a clear view into hidden workflows and potential security blind spots. Identity and access management often reveal shadow activities through subtle clues left behind by users. Detecting single sign-on bypass attempts, for instance, can highlight unauthorized app usage immediately. Watching carefully for unknown open authorization tokens, permissions granted quietly by users, also helps pinpoint unsanctioned third-party integrations. Likewise, identifying multi-account logins originating from corporate Internet Protocol addresses frequently uncovers unauthorized access or sharing practices. Even something seemingly innocent like regular logins to personal email accounts from corporate networks can serve as a strong indicator of shadow activity. It signals potential data leaks. Closely monitoring account sprawl, where employees have dozens of logins tied to the same identity, often exposes shadow information technology lurking just below the surface. Real-time cloud monitoring offers another essential avenue to spot rogue tech early. Rather than discovering it after a security event, cloud access security brokers actively scan network traffic to identify and flag unsanctioned tools being used quietly across teams. Viewing network traffic logs for shadow domains, unrecognized uniform resource locators, or suspicious cloud services is equally valuable. It often catches shadow information technology at the moment it first connects. Real-time alerts triggered by unknown third-party integrations can help security teams swiftly respond and contain potential leaks or unauthorized access points. Filtering domain name system requests to block risky or shadowy services provides proactive defense, preventing unauthorized cloud interactions before they happen. Additionally, continuous cloud log analysis helps identify behavioral drift, where usage patterns subtly shift towards unapproved technologies. Despite technological advancements, simple methods like surveys and self-reporting still remain surprisingly effective at detecting hidden tech usage. Directly asking departments which tools they rely on can quickly uncover shadow solutions quietly adopted without information technology oversight. Anonymous polls specifically focused on shadow information technology usage often yield candid responses. They reveal insights users might not admit openly. Integrating questions about shadow technology into onboarding processes further helps establish clear expectations and offers early detection opportunities. Providing a safe, non-punitive method for users to disclose their shadow app usage encourages transparency and open dialogue. Building an organizational culture of secure transparency, where admitting shadow use is encouraged rather than punished, greatly improves visibility into the otherwise hidden tech landscape. Shadow information technology may be invisible to standard security tools, but by employing a layered approach, including behavioral analytics, endpoint visibility, real-time cloud monitoring, and proactive identity management, organizations can dramatically reduce their blind spots. Each method contributes unique insights, making it harder for unauthorized technologies to remain undetected for long. Open communication and transparency efforts reinforce technological monitoring by encouraging users to actively participate in security. This creates an environment where shadow technology can't easily hide. Integrating these techniques into a cohesive detection strategy transforms the seemingly daunting task of hunting shadows into a proactive, manageable cybersecurity operation. From chaos to control, taming the beast. From chaos to control, taming the beast. If organizations truly want to curb shadow information technology, they must shift from a no-first mindset to embracing a more cooperative yes-and culture. Instead of reflexively blocking new tools, information technology departments should actively offer secure and vetted alternatives that meet employees' urgent needs without sacrificing safety. By engaging end users directly in vetting new applications, companies ensure solutions are practical, intuitive, and designed for real-world workflows. Prioritizing speed and usability makes secure tools genuinely attractive. This removes incentives for users to seek shadowy workarounds. Framing security as an enabler rather than a roadblock helps employees see information technology as a partner invested in their productivity rather than as a department dedicated solely to enforcing rules. Creating a secure innovation process is another powerful strategy in bringing shadow information technology out of the shadows. Rapid application review pipelines allow new tools to be evaluated swiftly without lengthy delays that typically frustrate users. Provisioning provisional access with real-time monitoring enables information technology to safely grant temporary permissions for trialing innovative technologies without fully compromising security. Automating permissions to auto-expire after trials can prevent abandoned or unnecessary tools from cluttering the corporate ecosystem indefinitely. Establishing developer sandboxes with oversight lets tech teams safely experiment and innovate while ensuring critical security standards are consistently met. Cross-team tool adoption councils can further facilitate collaboration across departments. This enables stakeholders from diverse areas of the business to align quickly and safely on new technology choices. Updating information technology policies to reflect the realities of modern, cloud-first, and remote work environments significantly reduces the temptation for users to bypass official channels. Policies must move beyond dense legalese to become genuinely user-friendly. They should be clearly communicated in language that resonates with the workforce. Embedding policy enforcement directly into apps and services helps ensure compliance seamlessly, rather than relying solely on user memorization or diligence. Aligning information technology policies explicitly with user realities, acknowledging how people truly work, communicate, and collaborate, makes adherence natural rather than forced. Reinforcing these realistic policies through frequent micro-training sessions ensures continuous awareness without overwhelming users with exhaustive training sessions. Empowering employees as shadow information technology champions and whistleblowers is a critical step toward transparency and improved security. Nominating security liaisons within each department provides information technology with direct insights into departmental needs and behaviors. It also cultivates peer-level advocates for secure practices. Establishing reward structures that recognize disclosures rather than punishing them encourages openness. This significantly improves organizational visibility into hidden tool usage. Spotlighting successful, secure adoptions of new technologies reinforces positive behaviors and provides concrete examples for employees to emulate. Promoting grassroots governance allows employees to take active ownership of security within their own workflows. This increases compliance organically. Creating a safe environment for employees to speak openly about their tech habits removes secrecy. It enables information technology to work proactively rather than reactively. Choosing tools designed explicitly to support, not hinder, the user experience is fundamental in controlling shadow information technology proliferation. Load access security brokers offering real-time visibility enables security teams to track, evaluate, and manage cloud usage as it occurs. Secure access service edge frameworks provide comprehensive control over cloud environments. They blend ease of use with robust security measures that seamlessly align with modern workflows. Automated software as a service discovery platforms continually identify new apps appearing across the enterprise. This empowers information technology teams with early visibility into potential shadow tools. whitelisting applications, coupled with intuitive self-service approval workflows, simplifies compliance by making authorized tools easily accessible. Finally, implementing zero-trust policies that scale with organizational needs provides rigorous security controls. These do not impose unnecessary constraints on employees' ability to work productively. Ultimately, effective shadow information technology management depends on the organization's willingness to rethink security from the user's perspective. Recognizing and empathizing with user workflows, embracing controlled innovation, and openly engaging employees transforms technology from a hidden liability into an openly leveraged asset. Rather than constantly chasing shadows, organizations can proactively illuminate the path forward. They can guide employees towards secure practices that naturally align with business productivity goals. Through empathy, collaboration, and thoughtful use of technology, companies turn the chaotic rebellion of shadow information technology into a manageable, even beneficial, force within their tech ecosystem. Inclusion. Bringing shadow information technology out from the shadows requires more than strict policies and rigorous enforcement. It demands organizational empathy, collaborative innovation, and proactive visibility into users' true needs and behaviors. By shifting away from simply blocking tools and toward providing secure, user-friendly alternatives, companies can transform potential cybersecurity risks into opportunities for enhanced productivity and agility. Only by embracing open communication, targeted training, robust monitoring tools, and flexible policies can organizations effectively mitigate the hidden threats lurking within the shadows. Addressing shadow information technology is not merely an information technology responsibility. It is an organizational imperative demanding transparency, empathy, and practical innovation. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Podcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure, stay vigilant.